Hello everyone, I am Shafayat Ahmed. Today I will present and demonstrate the project assignment that we have assigned to develop in our advanced database system course. This is the list of our group members, and this project has been supervised by our course instructor Dr. MD Saddam Hossein. So this is the scenario that we do need to develop in this project. There will be two separate machines which will contain PostgreSQL database system. Both machines will contain a replica of same database. Whenever any changes made into a machine, this change will reflect into another machine. Throughout this project development, these three steps we do need to develop and show all over this presentation step by step. Before going to the development phase, I would like to describe a short brief of database replication. Database replication is the frequent electronic copying of data from a database in one computer or server to a database in another, so that all users share the same level of information. The result is a distributed database in which user can quickly access data relevant to their tasks without interfering with the work of others. Various elements contribute to the overall process of creating and managing database replication. Distributed database management system basically works like it involves copying, transferring, or integrating data from one database in a server or computer to another. It also ensures changes made to a data in the original database reflect changes in the replicated database. It shares the replicated database over one or more physical machines. User access the same information from the distributed database as the original database. There are several techniques of database replication. Different techniques offer different advantages based on thoroughness, simplicity, and speed. Basically, there are two types of data replications. One is asynchronous replication, another one is synchronous replication. Asynchronous replication is when the data is sent to the model server, the server that the replicas take data from the client. Synchronous replication is when data is copied from the client server to the model server and then replicated to all the replica servers before the client is notified that the data has been replicated. More specified, there are several types of data replications like full table replication, transactional replication, snapshot replications, merge replications, or key-based incremental replications. One thing need to be noted that in data replication context, the original database is called publisher and the replicated database is called subscriber. There are some benefits and challenges in data replications. Business can be benefited like it is trusted, holistic pictures for analytics and faster insight. For IT or data operations team, it is higher data availability, reduced server load, less data movement, better protection, better application performance also. There are several challenges. Challenges in replicating database will typically related to a poorly defined or managed data governance framework. It is like some of your data may not correctly sync with the rest of your distributed system when you are copying data between multiple sites at different intervals. Also, some of your data may be lost if database objects are incorrectly configured within the source database or if the primary key you use to verify data integrity in the replica is incorrect. In this project, we will use logical replication. Logical replication is the method of replicating data object and their changes based upon their replication's identity, usually a primary key. PostgreSQL supports both mechanisms concurrently. Logical replications allows fine-grained control over both data replication and security also. Logical replication use a publish and subscribe model with one or more subscriber subscribing to one or more publication on a publisher node. Subscriber pull data from the publications they subscribe to and may subsequently republish data to allow cascading replication or more complex configuration. There are various features of logical replication, like it replicates data object based upon the replication identity that we have discussed earlier, like primary key or unique index. Destination server can be used for writes. You can have different index and security definition. It does not event-based filtering. It does event-based filtering. Publication can have several subscription. Logical replications basically provide storage flexibility through replicating smaller set, minimum server load compared with trigger-based solution. It also allows parallel streaming across publishers, and this can be used for migration and upgradation also. Beside the feature, logical replication has some limitation on which the committee is continuously working to overcome. Like table must have the same full qualified name between publication and subscription. Table must have primary or unique key. It also does not support mutual or bidirectional replication, does not replicate schema sequences. It does not also replicate truncate, does not replicate large object. So this is a short brief of database replication. Now, I will show the project development phases step by step. As we know, for logical replication, we need two separate machines, one for publication, another for subscription. For preparing another machine virtually, we need to follow these steps. First, we need to download and install VirtualBox application, which is Oracle VM VirtualBox. Then we need to install Windows 10 on that virtual machine. After successful installation of Windows 10, we need to ensure that both machines sharing the same network connectivity. Then necessary configuration need to be done for remotely accessing the virtual machine. This is the official website of VirtualBox applications, from where I have already downloaded the application. Now I will install the application in my physical machine. I will follow these steps for installing the VirtualBox application. I have installed VirtualBox application in my physical machine. Now I will show how can we prepare a virtual machine using this application. This virtual machine we will use for publication database. Virtual machine has been prepared successfully. Now I will show how can we control this virtual machine using VirtualBox Manager. In VirtualBox Manager, we can see a virtual machine has been prepared for publication database. Now I will start this virtual machine. Virtual machine is powering up. By clicking on this show button, a window will be appeared from where we can display the virtual machine and can control this machine easily. But throughout this presentation, I will use remote desktop connection to access this virtual machine. And regarding this, such necessary configuration I have done earlier. So now I will exit this window. But the virtual machine is still running on the background. So now we will use the remote desktop connection to get connected with the virtual machine. This is the virtual machine name, and I am using the user admin to get connected with the virtual machine. So here we have logged in to the virtual machine. In virtual machine, from command prompt window, we can see that we are getting successful reply from the physical machine. Also in physical machine, we are getting successful reply from the virtual machine, which refers that both machines are connected to the same network and able to reach each other. Now we will follow these steps for further configuration. We will install PostgreSQL system on both machine. We will create different database on both machine. We will create same tables on both database. We will configure virtual machine as publisher database, and we will configure physical machine as subscriber database. Now we will share the PostgreSQL application to the virtual machine by using the shared drive. By pasting the application file over here, we can easily access this file also from the virtual machine. So here is the PostgreSQL application file. Now we will install this application file on virtual machine. So I will assign the port 5431 on virtual machine for publisher database. So the PostgreSQL system has been installed successfully in the virtual machine. We can access this PostgreSQL database system by using pgadmin 4. It is a management tool for PostgreSQL system. Here we will provide the password that we have provided while installing this application. So here's the pgadmin. Here we can create any database. Also we can create the table, and also we can manage the PostgreSQL using this tool. Now I will create a database in the virtual machine which we will use as a publisher. In this database, we will create a table. Here we are creating a table named student info, which will have 5 attributes. Among them, the attribute ID will be the primary key. So the table has been created. After refreshing the schema, we will see the table student info. Now we will create a publication for this publisher database. Before this, we need to see that the wall label is set on logical or not. By default, the wall label settings is set to replica. These wall label settings need to be replaced as logical as we are using logical replication. For this, first we need to stop the PostgreSQL service. Then we need to change it to the configuration file. We have changed it to logical. Now the service need to be restarted. Now we do need to refresh the database. Here we can see that the wall level settings has been changed to logical. Now we can create the publication for this publisher database. So the publication has been created. After refreshing the publication, we can see the publication that we have created named as apub. So here's the definition that we have selected. Now we will create the same database and table in the physical machine, which will be used as subscription database. In physical machine, we have created another database which we will use as a subscriber database. We have named this database as ADS underscore sub. Also, this database is running on 5432 port, where the virtual machine is running on 5431 port. These two ports need to be different. Also, in this database, we have created the same table that we have created in virtual machine in publisher database. Now, we will create a subscription in this database. First, we need to provide a name for the subscription. Then we do need to provide the hostname and address. Before providing the hostname and address, we need to make sure a configuration change in the virtual machine or in the publisher machine. In virtual machine, in the pg underscore hba configuration file, we need to make a change that we need to provide these settings that I have set earlier, like I need to provide the physical machine IP and subnet mask and password encryption method. Then I do need to save this, and before saving this, I need to stop the PostgreSQL service. After changing the configuration file, I need to restart the service again. So here I will put the virtual machine IP. Then I need to provide the virtual machine port. Also, I have to provide the virtual machine database name. Then I need to provide the username and password. Then automatically here will a publication will be showed. The publication I have set in the virtual machine. After selecting the publication, I will save this subscription. Now this database has been completely set as subscription database. Any changes occurred in the publication database table, it will reflect in the subscription database table. Now we will follow step 3. We will insert some data into the publisher database table. Then we will update some data into the publisher database table. Also, we will delete some data from the publisher database table. Besides, we will see that the reflection is coming or not in the subscriber database. So in publisher database, we can see that in student info table, there has no data. Now we will insert some data into this table. 6 data has been successfully inserted. Now we can see that 6 instances has been inserted into the student info table. Now we will run the query in subscription database to see whether the data has came or not. We can see that in subscription database, the 6 instances has been replicated. Now we will update a data instance from the publisher database. Like I am updating the name Shafayat Ahmed to Shafayat Hossein. So this has been updated in publisher database. If we see in the subscription database, we can see that the Shafayat Ahmed has been changed into Shafayat Hossein. Now we will delete a row from the publisher database, like we are deleting the second instances which has been removed from the publisher database. In subscription database, we can see that the second instances has been deleted also. That means we can say the data reflection is occurring properly. So this is all about the PostgreSQL logical replication. Thank you.